If you're a white man dating black women in this country right now, your life is in danger.
Man, shut your bitch ass up. Oh no, another white man making up a false scenario in order to spread propaganda that black men are the most dangerous people on the planet. Right? Meanwhile, they're following our black women around in parking lots. They're literally following black women around in parking lots. They're shooting up churches. They're strangling girls. Oh no. Like, big dog, this shit is just funny. I just laugh at it. Because outside the internet, no one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck about these scenarios. Okay? I want black women to protect themselves from all men who think that they can run up on a woman with no repercussions. Send their ass to Sky Daddy. But we ain't about to come on here and just make up fake scenarios. Like, the fact that y'all are sitting here saying that black men are going out of their way to make y'all uncomfortable for dating black women, we don't give a fuck. We don't give a damn. There's no scenarios where a black man's blowing a white man away because he's dating a black woman. But there are definitely situations where white men will intimidate black men for dating white women. That is a thing. That is a thing. Just making shit up on the internet, bro.
If you're a white man dating black women in this country right now, your life is in danger.
Now that I've had a little more time to digest this video and see other people's interpretations of it and other people's experience, particularly white men who deal with black women, the more disgusting that this video actually is. To me, it feels more like this young man is ultimately scared of black men, and his interpretation of his experiences with dealing with people who may just give him slight disapproval is more a fear response than an actual necessary need to protect himself, because it doesn't appear that he's ever actually had any sort of violent altercations, because I'm sure we would have heard all about him with his little story. So his intimidation is just from black men looking at him, which is no different than white women clutching her purse or white people stepping to the other side of the street when they see black men coming. It's generally disgusting, and maybe if that is how you view black men, the black men that are, related to the black women that you like to date, then maybe you shouldn't be dating these black women, because if you intend to be with this black woman, you're gonna have to deal with a lot of black men. And I don't know if you know this, but her whole family is filled with them. So maybe this isn't for you, and maybe you shouldn't participate in it if you're ultimately scared of black men that come with the black women that you're gonna date.
When I bring a black woman with me in public, I can't tell you how many times I've been threatened. I've had black men attempt to intimidate me, attempt to stare me down.
Really? Is that so, Jordy? Did you need to be armed in this situation?
Yeah, you look like Nick.
Look,
I laid you.
look,
Oh my God.
Look, record
Hey,
draw,
gang.
record draw.
Yeah. And you got the T on.
This is you and your ex, right? Was your life in danger there? Did you feel a need to carry in that situation? Are these the same type of black men that you want white men to arm themselves against? To generalize black men in such a way that invokes violence onto them is inexcusable, irresponsible, and blatantly racist.
If you're a white man dating black women in this country right now, your life is in danger.
No, as a white man dating a black woman, I could confidently say that my life has never been in danger at the hands of a black man. Just like what you see with that clip, that's what most experiences are like. Nothing but love.
Unfortunately, our friend Jordy feels inferior to black men. That's why he feels a need to carry to give him some type of superiority over them.
And like he said, the least likely dating dynamic is a black woman with a white man. And yes, when you're out in public, you are going to get stared at, but that comes from all races. Don't be out here singling out black men and making them out to be the enemy here. I'm not going to stand for that, and that's untrue, and don't ever promote violence against black men.
And to the black woman in the comments, don't you dare ever let a white man use you as a crutch to position himself as an oppressed entity in the society, because it's simply false. They are not in danger, they are not in harm's way, and they do not need to be protected, especially from black men just for dating a black woman.
For this, and you're like me and you're a white man who's dating a black woman, you need to get on this immediately and get yourself protected.
Yes, I am a white man like you, and I am married to a black woman, and I am here debunking everything that you said. It is completely untrue and it's false. Please, nobody listen to this man, especially if you're a white man.
I watched a white man look into a camera and tell other white men that if they date black women, they need to arm themselves. Not because of systemic racism, not because of police violence, but because black men are supposedly coming for them. And the most dangerous part? He said it like he was doing black women a favor. Let me slow this all the way down, because this isn't just another messy take on the internet. This is the soft launch of a very old, very ugly idea dressed up in modern language. A white man decides that black women's bodies are somehow a risk factor for white men's safety. He frames himself as the protector. He frames black men as the predators. And he frames black women as the prize that requires armed security. That is not concern. That is ownership language. I need you to hear me clearly. This is not about one random creator saying something stupid. This is about a pattern where certain white men enter interracial relationships and then immediately start writing rules for black people, rules about how we should feel, rules about who is dangerous, rules about whose rage is legitimate and whose is savage. When a white man says, "I have to arm myself because I date black women," what he is really saying is, black men's feelings about this are a threat to me. He is centering his own comfort while pathologizing an entire community's response to history, to erasure, to the long record of white men treating black women as accessible while treating black men as disposable. And the part that sits in my chest the heaviest is how casually he positions himself as the one who gets it. Like his proximity to black women gives him authority to diagnose black men. Like dating us is some kind of ethnographic fieldwork that entitles him to lecture us about our own people. I am not interested in debating whether individual black men have ever acted out over interracial dating. Individual people act out over all kinds of things. What I am interested in is the leap from "some people get jealous" to "white men need to prepare for violence from black men" as a category. That leap is not analysis. That leap is racialization. And racialization of black men as inherently violent is never neutral. It has a body count. So, if you are a black woman watching this and feeling that familiar tightness in your stomach, you are not overreacting. Your nervous system is correctly reading the script, because this is the same script that has always needed a dangerous black man in order to justify white male control. Let's talk about what this video is actually doing.
My question is, who's with this guy? Like, this is the type of guy to send you a message like, "I just want to let you know that my preference is chocolate women. I'm obsessed with chocolate women, and I just really want to get to know you." Who's in on this? Like, what? And also, what type of nerve or audacity would he have to put this up? Like, who cares? Like, really, who cares if the black... Like, why did he take it as, "Oh, black men not..." I had an encounter with an off guy who just happened to be black. He didn't think of it like that. He thought of it like, no, all these black men have issues with the fact that I'm dating whom? Black women. I wouldn't be shocked if it was a Doja Cat shorty he was outside with. I would not be shocked. Because I don't see black men trying to find no white man on the street over Viola Davis. This just don't happen, y'all. So he must have been, you know, dealing with the biracial shorties. And to be real, the white boys, like, when that's really their preference, they stay away from the biracial shorties because of this situation. To be real, because black men are like, this is our thing. Like, yeah, these are our women. You told us to breed them to look like this, and you said we could keep them for ourselves. The shorties who are closer to whiteness. But this just lets you know, there are a lot of racist white men who date black women. And as of recent, I think there's a bit of a, like, operation at hand where they're trying to position black women akin to Asian women in terms of their availability to white men. And they're trying to make it more of a thing. Like, yeah, you could date white men. White men are interested in you. Have you seen Nick and Alondria? Have you seen Bryce and Trinity? Yeah. Get into it. And they're going to try to turn it into turn white men into black women's main preferences. That's what they do with Asian women in the States. Shit, one time I was seeing this white dude, and I started seeing a Korean guy. And he looked at me as if I traded the race. He said, "How could you date a Korean guy?" I'm like, why am I dating you? We got more history. We got a shady history together. It started in the cabins, and when you put me on them boats, what you talking about? And as of recent, I've been seeing these videos on TikTok of like black girls dating white dudes, going on dates with white dudes. Like, I'm just gonna give y'all a little bit of advice. Like, if a white man invites you to take a hike, don't go. You don't take no hikes. If a white man invites you on a boat, do not go on that boat. Even if white girlie said, if a guy invites you, and I'm assuming she's talking about white men. If a guy invites you to go skiing for the first date, do not go. Cause like they're like listen to white women when they talk about dating white men. Listen to these shorties, okay? They move a certain way with white men because they know them. All right, stop trying to have this like what's that movie? Yeah, stop trying to do this naked on laundry or fantasy shit. Stop trying to do my white and shining armor shit, because at the end of the day, they're men and they use sex as a militaristic technology of dominance. A lot of men do. They're not looking for sensuality a lot of the time. It's more about his position in society, and this is a new operation that they've set up, which is date the black woman, have her as your maid and your wife and your mammy, and show those black men that you told they're women, okay? And then continue to terrorize and harass them on the street. Come on, these are the safest white men today right now. Wiggers. I never thought I would ever say this in my life. I was so anti-wigger for so long. Wigger guys just date a Puerto Rican and Italians. Those are the safest, okay? These waspy dudes, Irish, like, they're dangerous to date. And don't feel complimented when he opens up the conversation being like, I date black women. It's my preference. Like, he's trying to make you feel special. Don't do that. People who date off of purely race are weird. Like, there's something mentally not right with them, and they're a bit unhinged. Be aware of that when you're deciding to meet up with guys like this. You know what I mean? And if you see me out here with some waspy-looking white guy, just know he already been inside me. I already dealt with him. We know each other already. That's the only... But if it's a new person, I stick to Puerto Rican dudes who I don't even consider white. Puerto Rican dudes, Italians, and... and wiggers. I'm gonna start dating wiggers now. For real, for real, for real. That's the only... Like, I'm talking about, like, golden mouth, chains... He could even have a little bit of an accent, a black accent. Like, yep, Paul Walker or Paul Wall. Yeah.
Because it's not real. Not to the extent you're making it out to be. My favorite thing to do in these types of situations is search. And in my search, aside from the anecdotals in your comments, I can't find anything to the extent of James Harris Jackson traveling by bus from Baltimore to New York City to kill as many black men with white women as he could. Travis Ricci trying to kill a black man for being in an interracial couple. He failed at killing the black man but killed the black man's white girlfriend. An interracial hate crime in Georgia where a black man was stabbed and dragged behind a truck that took 34 years to get a conviction. And these things happened in 1984, 2009, 2019. Those are all references without even mentioning the historical context prior to the 2000s, prior to the 80s, prior to the Civil Rights Bill. The truth of the matter is, if you and your girlfriend are in danger specifically because of your relationship, specifically because the nature of you being in an interracial relationship, that danger is more likely to come from a white man than a black man. But if this country is reverting to the 60s and prior the way it feels like it is, from what I could find through my search, usually they only kill the black men dating the white women. If you're a white man dating a black woman, they'll spare your life and just burn your house down or something.
My brother in protons, what the fuck are you talking about? The largest danger to an interracial relationship is a white man and insecurity. And brother, you're both.
Didn't a mob of you bash our face in over a lie that we whistled at one of your women? Yet your life is in danger. If you don't get...
White boy got on his app talking about if you're a white man dating black women, then you need to conceal carry, you need to protect yourself, all that stuff. White men really have this, like, the fantasy of being oppressed. They've never felt oppression, so they just, like, do anything just to, you know, because the whole world is at their feet and has been handed to them. And then people calling him out for how he sounds, and he's saying, well, 100,000 black women agreeing with me, and all these black women agreeing with me in the comments. And I was disappointed by the comments, but this is social media. Nothing's real. If you... Listen, all y'all interracial people, dating people, couple stuff, when y'all make a whole bunch of kids like Logic and I was too white for the blacks and too blacks for the whites. Y'all, this is embarrassing. Like this is where it comes from, because it's so much low racial self-esteem when people date interracially for some reason. It's like they can't never be normal. They have to make it their whole personality. Hashtag swirl weird. Hashtag mixed couple. They want to make a mixed couple page. Shout out to the normal ones, because of course there are normal people who just date and like who they like. But oh my God.
I don't know if y'all saw this video on y'all FYP yet, but this is weird. This is a weird video and it's a weird take. And all of you black women in the comment section supporting this man, y'all weird too. Because he's calling for all white men that date black women to obtain firearms because of the way that black men look at them and the reactions that they give them when they out. Yeah, we're not. Y'all have to stop acting like the white men are going to save y'all from black men. Do y'all not see white women get on this app every day and talk about how white men treat them? How they abuse them? Do y'all not see black women get on this app and talk about the microaggressions that they experience? You cannot honestly believe that dating a white man is going to completely change your life. Like, I understand that you may not want to date black men because you have trauma in your life, but running to a white man is not going to fix all your problems. Like, I think that y'all forget that they fetishized us for a very long time. They took away from you. They forced themselves onto you. If you okay with laying with them, that's fine. But stop trying to make it seem like they're going to save you from your own community. Y'all like to call people pick-me's. The comment section of this video is a bunch of black women begging to be picked by white men.
First, notice the framing. The danger is never located in white supremacy. The danger is never located in the long history of white men exploiting, discarding, or silencing black women. The danger is always relocated onto black men. That relocation is not accidental. It is the oldest move in the playbook. Create a threat narrative so that the white man can occupy the role of protector and the black woman can be cast as someone who needs saving from her own community. Second, look at the emotional labor being demanded. Black women are expected to soothe white male anxiety about black male reaction. We are expected to police our own people's feelings so that white partners can feel safe dating us. That is not partnership. That is racial management. And it is exhausting. I keep thinking about how differently this would land if the genders and races were reversed. Imagine a black man making content telling other black men that dating white women requires arming themselves because white men are violent and territorial. The internet would lose its mind. There would be panels. There would be think pieces. There would be calls for deplatforming. But when a white man does the exact same racial generalization against black men, it gets treated as just a take. That double standard is the point. Some people's fear is allowed to become policy. Other people's fear is pathologized as aggression. Third, this kind of content does real harm inside our communities. It feeds the lie that black men are uniquely incapable of handling interracial relationships without turning violent. It feeds the lie that black women's choices need external security. And it feeds the lie that white men who date us are somehow brave for doing so. That last one is especially insulting. Dating a black woman is not a risk sport. It is not a tour of duty. It is not something that requires a gun on the nightstand as standard equipment. Treating it like that turns our relationships into proof of white male courage instead of ordinary human connection. I want to speak directly to the black women who date white men and are now second-guessing themselves because of videos like this. You do not owe anyone an explanation for who you love, but you also do not have to accept partners who traffic in these narratives. A man who believes that proximity to you requires him to arm himself against your community is telling you something important about how he sees black people. He is telling you that he sees danger where the rest of us see family, history, and complexity. That worldview does not stay contained. It leaks into how he talks about your cousins, your brothers, your sons, your past. It shapes what he considers safe conversation. It shapes whose pain he is willing to believe. And to the white men who feel attacked by this conversation, if your first instinct when dating a black woman is to prepare for violence from black men, sit with that. Ask yourself why that is the story your mind reaches for so quickly. Ask yourself whose voices taught you that black male anger is the primary threat in an interracial relationship. Because history has receipts, and those receipts do not point where this video is pointing. This is not about banning interracial dating. It is about refusing the racial hierarchy that keeps trying to attach itself to it. Black women are not prizes that require armed escorts. Black men are not a monolithic threat class. And white men who date us are not heroes for doing the bare minimum of treating us like human beings. When someone makes content that requires black men to be dangerous in order for the story to make sense, that content is not about safety. It is about power. It is about who gets to define the terms of the relationship and who gets defined as the problem. I am not interested in soft language about this. Soft language is how these ideas keep circulating. The idea that white men need to arm themselves to date black women is not edgy. It is not protective. It is a recycled racial panic with better lighting and a ring light. So, here is what I am asking you to do. If you see this kind of content, do not just scroll past it and call it messy. Name it. It is racial fear-mongering that uses black women as the staging ground. If you are dating across racial lines, audit the narratives your partner is comfortable with. Comfort with anti-black framing is not a neutral personality trait. And if you are a black woman who felt your stomach drop watching that video, trust that feeling. Your body is not confused. It is remembering every time our safety has been redefined to center someone else's fear. We do not need white men to arm themselves to date us. We need them to unlearn the idea that black men are the danger in the room. That is the work. Everything else is performance. I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp.